सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामय सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखात् भाग् भवेत्. We pray for the happiness of one and all. May everybody be comfortable materially, physically, emotionally, intellectually. May we see that which is auspicious and sacred. May there be no suffering anywhere. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Does anybody have any question? Okay. Is going to go to the secret of success. We had covered some. Let me see what we. So, secret of success, the points were work, self sacrifice, self forgetfulness, universal love, cheerfulness, fearlessness, self reliance, and purity. We definitely did till number 5. Love. Love is harmony with the universe, realizing your oneness with your neighbors, means with one and all, with all those who come in contact with you. Our relation, we can relate to each other according to our obligations, according to our assessment of their character. In the sense, we need not, like Jesus Christ says, hate the sin, not the sinner. We should not hate anybody. They are all expressions of our own self. We need not hate anybody, but we can relate to them differently. We need not even express anything, but the feeling of oneness must be there. That is something we have to uh, consciously. It will ultimately, for a saint, it is spontaneous. See, today, few people went to meet, I mean, few guests from the academy. Every day, somebody or the other keeps going to to Pune, where Swamiji is. And um, so Swamiji's last lecture in the United States was in 2019. And they had organized a talk in Manhattan, one of the most prestigious lecture hall. He was 93 and he received a standing ovation. And one of the participants there, a fairly young lady, she had just read the Vedanta treatise. She attended that talk. She was in awe. How can a 93-year-old person speak with such power? And immediately she did the 3-year course, a 3-year e-learning course. So I was wondering, even one lecture of Swamiji's could inspire a person to do the e-learning course. And then she came to the academy in 2019 for a day. Then after 6 years, today she went back to meet Swamiji, and she was very excited that she could get a photograph with him. And the another couple who had gone was getting a photograph, and they sent it to me. So they were holding their hands. Swamiji was holding both their hands. I said, so nice that he is holding your hands in the photograph. To which they said that, yeah, it was a surprise that he's holding hands. Now, even in there, he knows people are coming from different parts of the world. Just meeting him is an inspiration for them, and he is doing whatever he can. He will put in that effort to hold their hands. What I'm trying to say is, the feeling of oneness. Immediately, there is a feeling of oneness. Remember that all the world is one body. Your body is simply like a hand, one organ simply like a finger or a nail. So Swami Ramatita always had that the macrocosm itself is one body. In fact, the Upanishad says, one of the Upanishad, Mundaka Upanishad also says, the sun and the moon are like the eyes. The wind is the pranamaya kosha, the breath. The trees are the hair on the body. The Himalayas are the bones. The rivers are the veins and arteries. The rivers and seas. The whole earth itself is the heart. So they visualize the entire cosmos as one being. And in that, we are a small organ. So we are part of the whole. Our true nature is the whole. So to get that vision, knowledge of oneness should ultimately lead us to the feeling of oneness, and the feeling of oneness should manifest at the physical level as service and sacrifice. This loop is very, very important. We study, we gain knowledge of Brahma Vidya, Atma Vidya, which is the knowledge of oneness. We are all one. That's the knowledge. From that knowledge of oneness, the knowledge is not understood until it generates a feeling of oneness. Feeling is love. That's what he's talking about here. And the feeling of love at the physical level will manifest as service and sacrifice. That's why we give those three steps. Step one is what we do when we start the class, wishing for the welfare of one and all. Step two, the manifestation of service and sacrifice, working for the welfare of one and all. One and all means whoever you come in contact with. Working for the welfare of one and all, whatever we do it for the benefit of others. It's not like you have to go around the world and serve. Whatever is your swadharma, express it. And third, the ultimate test is reveling in the welfare of all beings. Sarva Bhute Ite Rataha. We keep quoting this. That is quality control. When we have this, the wisdom of the scriptures will have an impact. If the mind is impure, there is otherness, there is no wishing for the welfare of others, there is no happiness at others' joy, then we will not get the message of the scriptures. Do not look upon yourself as separate and distinct from the self of the whole world. The self of the body, the right hand must feel the self of the body. We gave the example. It's Swami Ramatita's example. The right hand says, I am doing all the work, I am writing, I am doing everything. Why should the food go to the mouth? Put the food directly in the hand. If you actually inject the food in the hand will decompose. Whereas if the self of the hand realizes that myself and the self of the mouth and the self of the whole body is one self, and he puts the food in the mouth, the food gets digested. The body is strong. When the body is strong, the right hand is automatically strong. So it's no sacrifice actually. In the welfare of the totality is the individual welfare. When we try to benefit the individuality at the expense of the totality, then we fail. So it's just sheer knowledge, sheer understanding, which will automatically, we don't have to, initially, we have to remind ourselves, perhaps force ourselves, practice it. But later on, when it is part of our system, when it's wisdom, automatically you will always think of the welfare of the totality. That's what evolved people do. They are always thinking of the welfare of the totality. Their welfare is included. In the welfare of the total body, the welfare of the right hand is already included. The totality includes the individuality. Do not look upon yourself as separate and distinct from the self of the whole world. Feeding the self of the whole is feeding the self of the hand. Unless you realize this truth, that you are one with the universe, that you and God are one, you cannot succeed. So he goes to the absolute level. Success means you have to feel the oneness with the universe. It's nice to know it. And then if you are inspired as much as possible, we got to keep on reminding ourselves and practice it. Feel the oneness with the entire universe and just express your nature. What does the banana tree do? Give bananas. What does the sun do? Just shine. What does the clouds do? Just give rain. What a squirrel does, what a squirrel should do. A tiger does what a tiger should do. Similarly, we have a nature. Understanding that nature, just express yourself for the welfare of the world. You start for the welfare of the world and then later on just express yourself. You are perfect and whole when you realize yourself to be the whole and all. By this feeling of oneness, you practically live Vedanta. So Vedanta is feeling of oneness. Truth is undeniable that so long as you are in perfect harmony with nature, so long as your mind is in tune with the universe, you're feeling and realizing your oneness with each and all the circumstances and surroundings, even winds and waves will be in your favor. The very moment you are at discord with all, the very moment friends and relatives will turn against you. Whole world will be up in arms against you. Understand this divine law and practice it. So, a very again, so valuable, important knowledge or piece of information first. The information will slowly bring about transformation through constant reflection, through constant contemplation, reminders, repetition, not mechanical repetition, repetition with the confluence of the head and the heart. The intellect must understand what the mind feels, the mind must feel what the intellect understands. With this confluence, if we study, remind ourselves of these divine truths, the information will bring about a transformation. So long as your mind is in tune with the universe, you're feeling and realizing your oneness. You're wishing, you feel oneness with the all, the totality, environment, beings, everything. You feel you call you what happens what when we feel this oneness, what would be the natural consequence? Maybe 2 points. What would be the natural consequence? When you feel this oneness with the totality, let's say environment or living creatures.
Uh,
No hatred, and you are at peace of mind.
exactly.
Hatred, peace of mind. Yes, madam.
No competitiveness within.
No,
Uh,
no competitive witness. Others' joy is your joy. Yeah, very nice point. You will cause minimum damage, you will be a minimum nuisance to others. You don't want to cause any harm to others. Minimum disturbance, minimum consumption. Minimum means whatever you need. We don't have to really scrounge, but you are disturbing the totality minimum, not wasting resources. And secondly, at our level, whatever we can. The wanting to contribute is maximum. Yes, all the points at the mental level were good points. This is what came to my mind. Ullas, you're right. No hatred, and as a result, which peace, no competitiveness. Competition comes when there is all the competition comes only when there is otherness. All these negative feelings, hatred, jealousy, arrogance, the root cause is otherness. If there is oneness, you don't fear yourself. I mean, normally you don't fear yourself. Of course, if you have a weakness, you'll be afraid of your own mind. You're not jealous of yourself. How is that possible? So wherever there is oneness, there is these negative feelings go away. So you're in tune with nature, you don't disturb nature, you don't harm nature, you don't waste resources. You're feeling and realizing your oneness with each and all the circumstances, surroundings, even the winds and waves will be on favor. See, the same message is in the ancient mariner. Uh, for what is worth, I'm just taking you there. Uh, and it is in the context of love. In the Vedanta treatise, in, it's a Code of Living chapter. Chapter is this? Code of Living. Chapter 4, Code of Living. When Swamiji talks about love, he says, um, gives the story of ancient mariner. When the ancient mariner started his voyage, his heart was full of love. He described the beauty of the creature. Everything turned out to be favorable. So, why are we studying and reminding ourselves of these divine truths? When our heart is pure and full of love, the external world becomes favorable. People, unasked, come and help. Just 1 second. Everything turned out to be favorable. The ship sailed on merrily. Then came a change in the mariner's attitude for whatever reason. He lost love for his fellow creatures. He developed bitterness, contempt, and one day when an albatross was flying, he shot it. Thereafter, has suffered a series of calamities. So, why do we want to unnecessarily attract negativities in our life? Through a wrong mental attitude. You don't have to change anything external. You don't have to change your job, your dress, your location, your family. Nothing has to be changed. Only thing Vedanta requires you to change is your mindset, the perspective with which you look at the world. And people say, I don't have time for it. You just have to gain a little bit of knowledge and change the way you look at things. If you have the wrong mindset, you attract a series of calamities and was tortured with mental agony. And then came a change in the mariner's attitude. Through the knowledge, we have to bring about this change. Once again, he appreciated nature and her beautiful creatures without any exception. Adveshta Sarva Bhutanam. In fact, the smarter thing to do is to attack areas where we have hatred or contempt. If you are able to, as I gave the 3 steps, you introspect, find out the people whom you don't like, who you dislike. And all that you have to do is genuinely, sincerely, perhaps repeatedly. That's why I'm doing that prayer for the welfare of the world. If you do it sincerely, I'm sure it'll have its own sattvic effect on the mind. Genuinely, sincerely, particularly for those people who we hate. Sometimes we say our enemies, we consider our enemies, wish for their welfare. You don't have to do anything for them unless it's your obligated duty. Suppose it's a family member. See, when we have a problem with with a family member means there is an obligatory relationship. So where with people with whom we have a problem and there is an obligatory relationship, what should we do? What is the Vedantic guideline? Anybody? See, normal people will say, Arey, he is mean to me. Why should I be nice to me? Am I a doormat? Why should I? He should have respect. He should have gratitude. We are quick to um, behave like that, tit for tat. But what is the guideline? With people with whom we have an obligatory relationship. See, the shopkeeper insults me. I wish him well, but I don't have to go back to that same shop. I can go to a different shop. Um, In fact, if that shop is convenient, I still go to him. If somebody is crushing your ego, if you are again on the spiritual path, we should be happy that somebody is crushing our ego. Um, I'm just giving a story. In Calcutta, Durga Puja is very big, and and every neighborhood has a huge celebration. So once my father was in our local Durga Puja celebration, he had gone to eat prasad. After every lunch, usually lunch prasads, like a full lunch is served. And he was in his 70s, so like a senior citizen. Some youngster insulted him and he took it very personally. For years, he did not go, and I didn't really know what was happening. And one time I was there, and he was quite proudly, quite proudly, he was telling me that that guy insulted me, and that's why I don't go to that puja. I said, who is losing out? That guy even may not even remember that he insulted you for whatever reason he said something. Now, for that, why are you spoiling your relationship with God? Why are you missing out on the feast? You just quietly go and do your stuff and come back. So unnecessarily we complicate our lives and lose out. So ultimately, what nothing. He may not remember also something happened. But my father got angry, and then he realized that yeah, ultimately he's losing out. Why can't you just go and do your thing? Why should we allow other people's negative behavior affect our life? We should not. That's a weakness to depend on or to react unnecessarily on what others do. If you have an obligation to correct, please go ahead and correct. Some stranger does something, Why should we take it personally? This is ego. We keep on personalizing things and making a mess of everything. Let it go. Buddha did that. Lord Buddha was walking on the road, and a man came from the opposite direction and abused him, insulted him. What are you doing? You have wasted your life doing nothing. You could have been a king and ruled the kingdom. You wasted your life and you're wasting the lives of the young people. Buddha was shanti, nothing. Just kept walking. His disciples were very upset. How can they insult their master in front of them? They wanted to really give, teach that man a lesson or give them a piece of their mind, but without the master's instructions, they won't do anything. That evening in satsang, one of the disciples raised his hand and said, "Sir, how did you allow that man to insult you so much?" And Buddha, there was something in front of him, something precious. He took that and said, if I give this to you, and if you don't accept it, to whom does it belong? So it belongs to you. He said that's what happened. That man had to offer some abusive words, some insults. I had no use for it. I did not take it. You guys have received it. You deal with it. We take stupid, foolish things and we receive it. So coming back to the question, if we have some kind of bitterness or negativity towards a family member or a person with whom we have an obligatory relationship, what should be the guideline we can follow? Last,
Couldn't hear you properly.
I'm saying, suppose you have an obligatory relationship with some person and you have developed some negativity. That person is troubling you or some kind of negative feelings you have developed. The relationship has become not smooth, sort of, it's not going well. How should you act?
I think we should accept that these things have come to me because of my past karmas and have come to me for some teaching and some spiritual awakening or in doing the spiritual progress. By that, I
Right.
am overcoming my karmas.
Okay, this is a very nice philosophic insight. Whatever is coming to us, it is our karma. So that calms the mind, you know that. And see, anything that we receive is because of our past karma. But that's okay. This attitude will actually calm the mind. But a little bit more proactively, what can we do? What else? Okay, you're not uh, you have accepted it. You're not complaining and grumbling or failing to understand why is this happening to me? Why do I have a complicated person in in my life? Okay, you understand it.
Another attitude is that I have got a good guru. I am fortunate to have good guru and Vedantic uh, teachings. But that person may not be available. He may not be available for with guru or
Okay, so
Vedantic
you're
teaching.
able to practice forgiveness also. That person doesn't have a proper training. That's why he's negative. Morris Maeterlinck. So blessed and happy the hour when wickedness stands forth revealed as goodness bereft of a guide. So you see wickedness as not having a proper guide. He is not got the right training. You are lucky to have got the right training. So you're sympathetic. That's also excellent. What else? See, okay. Practically, with all this lovely thoughts, divine thoughts, you calm the mind, remove the hatred, and then one-sidedly we should perform our obligatory duties. Whatever your intellect tells you. Suppose, suppose in that relationship you are a father or a child or a husband or a wife, whatever, brother or a sister, if whatever is that obligatory duties, we should one-sidedly do that is minimum, whatever is the minimum. Of course, if the relationship is smooth, you will go all out and do little extra also, maybe if required. But that whatever the basic minimum relationship obligation that is due dharmically, minimum. I'm not saying that minimize the duty. Whatever is the right proportion of, see, when everything is smooth, we hang out with each other. We will do things for each other. There is extra because the relationship is sailing smooth. When there is uh, friction or disharmony in the relationship for whatever reason, like I said, because of our past karma, what can we do? Beyond a point, you can't interfere with the other person. You can't force the other person to talk to you. You can't force the other person to relate to you. But we can quietly, one-sidedly do whatever is our basic obligations. If we do that, we are taking care of our dharma. We are on the good side of, in the books of God, in the books of life, we are on the right side. So it is an opportunity. So the more mean the other person is, if you are able to maintain your one-sided uh, wishing for their welfare, goodwill, and affection, doing your minimum obligatory duties, it is a question of time that relationship might become better. When that karmic debt goes clears, it will automatically become better. But you are on the clear. You are paying your price. The other is, oh, he is not nice to me. I'll also be not nice to me. Then you are in the kind of the same level. We are breaking our dharma at any cost. We should not break our dharma. That is chitta shuddhi. That is self purification. That is what will bring about what we say jnana yogita. Jnana yogita means qualification to understand the highest Vedantic truths. No
Sir,
doubt is super important to know the Vedantic truths, but it's equally important to prepare ourselves to understand it. Somebody was saying, Maher, yeah.
yeah. So, sir, in case in this context, say I have a relationship with my wife, I have a relationship with my employee, and so on, and so on and so forth. But when, say, for example, if I've hired someone as an employee or as a driver or as a whatever cook or something like that. Now, if in that relationship something goes wrong and we try and accommodate, but at some point of time we can't. And we are not harboring bad feelings, but we have to let that person go. Now, if I have to do this with my wife, for example, then it turns out to be a very big thing. But if I have to do it with another person, like a whatever colleague, or so how is that? Is
So
it different or is it the same thing?
no, so it is a very very case specific thing. In the sense, see the what could go wrong is with the family we have a preferential attachment, right? With others we don't have that feeling of oneness. It's so keeping that aside. Suppose you are trying to relate perfectly with the family members with whom you have a closer obligatory relationship compared to a working relationship where you've hired somebody, a colleague, or hired somebody. But in both cases, your intellect, your values will tell you that okay, this is the obligatory duties, and where see, suppose you're a boss of a company and the employee breaks certain rules and regulations, and you give them what do you call that, a long rope. But when it's required, you have to put your foot down, and sometimes you have to take that extreme step of suppose somebody is harming the total is the company, then you have to ask him to leave. So you're not being passive or being overkind, you're always protecting the totality. If suppose there is a very very superstar cricketer but he is disturbing the whole team setup, the coach has to take him out. So it's not a
Right.
passive forgiveness. If whatever is required for the totality, you will have to do it. So the equation when it's a family member or an equation when it's a official colleague, it will change. It will be different.
So,
So your
yes,
intellect will. So you will have to assess it with your intellect, keeping aside all this preferential bias, and then take the call. Yes, sorry, I'm interrupting. Tell me.
sorry. So it was easier for me to let him go because he was not a part of family. But say now, if he was a part of a family also, then the relationship would have gone under kind of a divorce, right? It's just that divorce in the sense not a husband and wife divorce, but a divorce of relationship, right?
See, when you were saying easier to let me go, you're unnecessarily feeling guilty where there is no necessity to feel guilty. That relationship is not that deep. See, suppose I'm just making it, I don't know, this is the example that's coming to me. I'm going to a shopkeeper and he's insulting me. I don't have to feel bad that now I'll not go to this shop. I'll go to the next shop. Now, how much of a so but there is no hardly any relationship. So similarly, now if you we hire people, if that person is not living up to the standard that he is expected to live up to in that company setup, for the welfare of the company and others, you have to ask him to leave. So for that, you don't have to feel guilty, or the negative feeling should not come. So it's a so your analysis will give it clarity that do I am I being, just because uh, he's not a family member, am I being unfairly asking him to leave? That could happen, See, suppose, for example, a true story. There's this very, very good businessman, very kind, very, very charitable, very, very like a brilliant genius mind also. He built a hospital which he wanted corruption free. Most, unfortunately, medical ethics are very poor. Most hospitals they have targets. This many surgeries have to be done,
Targets, yes.
right? So he wanted a very clean hospital. Means all this not no nonsense, like whatever is fair, whatever the patient needs, the doctors will prescribe. But his brother-in-law, who was a cardiologist, when he was not looking into it, he started manipulating, and it almost became normal thing. He removed the cardiologist. I mean, he said, no, you don't have a place. So now suppose two people are doing the same, what you call that, malpractices, and he dismisses the guy who is not a family member and he says, oh, your brother-in-law, you continue. Then you are being unfair.
Okay.
You're giving a preferential treatment just because he's a family member, and you're throwing the guy out because he's not a family member. But if you are being so, cut that thing out of that preferential relationship. What does objectively you have to see what does this particular role needs? If he's disturbing the setup, you give it, you train him, you speak to him, give him a chance. But then if it is really harming the setup, you have to ask him to leave.
Sure.
In the academy, Swamiji has so much affection and love, but the moment he finds a person uh, not fit to be inside, 1 minute he may not have. Immediately you'll ask to leave. So you're not passive, but you're very kind. Because when
Sure.
it's required, you have to be, you have to, you're aggressive good basically. So you're not afraid of taking a hard step for the welfare of the totality. That is aggressive goodness.
Correct.
So the other is, so I can see where this thing is coming from, in the sense, if he was my family member, what would I do? No, same thing. Even if he's a family member, you will have to keep that emotions aside and say, this is what the company is. It's not a family setup. So that's why it is, we need extra, I mean, I have known couples who work for the same company, and they have a long marriage and a beautiful working and home relationship. But otherwise, it's very, very complicated. You need to have,
Very
otherwise
complicated.
you
Yes.
bring your office home, is everything is fine, but in the office you have difference of opinion, and that will percolate in the relationship.
Right. Right.
So it's complicated. So I don't know what the solution is, but where it's not working, better to keep things separate.
Right.
I mean, I don't know what the guideline is, in the sense, if it's working well, you can work together. Many, I mean, I've heard stories where the husband are fully into work and a beautiful relationship, working relationship and home relationship. But sometimes it doesn't work. So then uh, unnecessarily or there's a domestic fight, it shows in the office, or the official fight goes on, it becomes a mess. Okay, anybody else has to contribute?
Thank you.
Right. I showed the very in the ancient mariner, the moment he changed his mental attitude. So wrong mental attitude, he was tortured with mental agony. Once again, he appreciate one. Just we have to appreciate nature and the beautiful creatures. So from there, I said, if with a family member, if there is any trouble, we should one-sidedly maintain our obligatory duties. Okay, I will not call. Let's say I have a trouble. See, suppose, in fact, I know this kind of cases. In fact, today somebody said, meeting her own brother after 13 years. I mean, ये क्या है, वनवास हो गया. I mean, I mean, it's a long time. Yeah, if your own siblings 13 years you have not met in today's world. Now, see, suppose very, very good friendly relationship. You may be meeting every day or everything. Now, suppose whatever reason the relationship is strained, still, I don't know what the obligation is. Still, maybe on the festival day, you send your pranams. On their children's birthday, you send the birth. You're not. See again. Uh, so if you are younger, you have certain obligated duties. Even the other person is wrong, you still have to bow down and do your whatever it demands. Like in our culture in Bengalis, the young, yeah, all everybody who's young, we do pranams to anybody who's elder. So he may be wrong, but my duty is to do pranams. Okay. Now suppose he's a very negative person, I'll not like sit down and take advice from him. I have to don't have to go out of the way, but that minimum one-sided obligation, whatever the role demands, we should play it. Now, suppose you are elder, then you don't have to contact, you are available with all the love and affection to help them, but you don't have to go out of the way to extend your help. But you are available. You see am I able to explain it clearly? So that minimum thing, if you keep doing irrespective of the other person does, sometimes it just changes. That something will strike that, my God, uh, this person is being normal to me or nice to me. See, this principle helps a lot. Whatever be the previous experience, whatever be the past, you sort yourself out in the head and behave as if nothing has happened. Sometimes we make mistake. Impulsively, we make a mistake. Don't let that spill over to other experiences. Behave as if nothing is happening and carry on. Carry on with what? With your unselfishness, with your obligated duties without ego. Be kind, be nice, be cheerful, whatever the role demands. I'm not saying be passive all the time. If you have to be strict, you have to be strict. You are playing the role of a father to the son, play the role of a good father to the son. That's objectivity. Don't let the previous experience spill over. Act as if nothing has happened. So it slowly dies on. Now, if other person is holding on, oh, he did this to me, he did this to me, it will take some more time. What to do? You can't do anything. Um, so, then if the person is sensible and you are forgiving and or apologetic, immediately the relationship becomes good. But suppose the other person is complicated, then I'll refer to what Ullah said. This is part of my karma now. What to do? Like once it happens. So I'm in the books department. Sometimes we have to hire laborers to arrange the boxes. So now I want the boxes to be arranged in a neat way. We are paying for the laborers. We are paying let's say 4 hours. We are paying for them. So I am telling, aram se work. Don't have to rush. They want to lift and pat. It will be like a mess. I said, पहले नीचे रखो, फिर मैं बोलता हूँ कैसे सजाने. This is what I'm saying. नहीं डबल काम मत करो. I say I'm paying you for 4 hours. No money I'm giving. Na I'm not making you work beyond 4 hours. ना पैसा का बात मत करो. And this fellow got so angry. No, it would. I just said I'm paying for you keep it here, but they are whatever their level is. Now, if they get upset with you, and that I had a very good relationship with that worker. Now, because of that one statement, for months he would not like. If I tell him something, he will not relate to me. Now, then I have to tell some other senior to behave with him. Now, you can be good or nice we can only act to the best of our ability. We can't go beyond our capacity. You try your best to perform your obligated duties. If it doesn't work now, leave it. It may take years and years. You have to maybe do a little bit extra to get that relationship back. But we should never allow any negativity come into the picture. Never wish ill for that person. Never stop doing your obligated duty to that person. And if you value that, see, it all depends also if you value that relationship. Like I'm giving again the same example. The shopkeeper insults me. Am I mad to go to that shop when there is another alternative? But suppose he is selling something which only he has. I will forget his insult, just go and do my work and come back. Why complicate my lives because somebody else is mad? But if there is another, if I don't have a value for what he's offering, and there is an alternative, I'll go to the alternative place. But suppose this with with this worker, I value his work, then I'll have to go out of my way to sort that out. But if there is no obligatory duties, all this, see, another very, very important point is all the at this relationship level becomes very, very complicated when this worldly level, everything becomes very, very complicated when we lack a higher purpose in life. Will the prime minister worry that the jhadu fellow is getting absent, or the plumber is not working? Prime minister has to worry for the whole country. So when you have a higher when you genuinely, when we dedicate ourselves to the higher purpose, all this you are able to sort it easily because you're not involved in it. It doesn't bother you because you're drawing your happiness from a very, very higher purpose in life. So when we allow these pinpricks of life, the petty incidents and petty relationships to bother us, how can he talk to me like that? How can he not call me on my birthday? All these things, if it's bothering you, you may feel hurt. But if the hurt is continue for hours and months and days, and the relationship is getting spoiled, that means we are living a life at that realm. We have to rise above it and seek something higher. Like for example, when uh, this I am giving a very, very what you call point to think about. When you want your ego to be crushed, if that's your goal in life, that I don't want to be egoistic, somebody insults you, you will be very calm. How can he talk to me like that? Chodo yaar. Let them crush your ego. So with a little bit of with looking at things in a different way, easily things can be handled. Mm. Like Ullas said beautifully, somebody is troubling you, he doesn't have right guidance, you have got a good guidance. So immediately you're grateful that, okay, my God, I'm not liking that I have got the right guidance. I mean, not a egoistic way, but you're genuinely grateful, my God, I can become like that wicked person, but I'm not. So lucky. The whole paradigm shift in the mind. In a sense, you'll start looking at things differently. Let's see. Um, Once again, he appreciated nature and her beautiful creatures. Love seeped into his parched bosom. Now I'm trying to make sure that our love should not go out. Let the heart embrace fellow creatures, which is wishing for their welfare. If you have an obligation, work for their welfare and be happy when others are happy. Feel their pain when others have that pain. What Swamiji says practically social consciousness. Be acutely aware of other people's suffering. That's on the negative side. Positively, sarva bhute hite rataha, reveling in the welfare of other beings. Neighbor buys a Ferrari, he doesn't talk to you, but you're happy that something good has happened. I'm giving extreme examples. Your child has failed. Yes, it's a very sad thing. Neighbor's child who you don't like has come first class first. You are able to feel their joy. You are able to feel the sadness of your child. No, no, no. How can he become first? Then there is otherness. So with the right knowledge, the mind becomes peaceful. There is stability, balance in good and bad, pleasant and unpleasant. He regained harmony with nature, was happy again internally. Everything thereafter turned favorable. Outside also things change. The very moment you are at discord with all, the very moment friends and relatives will turn against you. The whole world is up in arms against you when we fill ourselves with bitterness. We don't realize that the circumstances and surroundings, if it's complicated and difficult, it is a it is a result of our own past complications. So now we have to patiently keep enduring. Life is sometimes all about titiksha. I'm sure, I don't know if some of you have missed Tiksha. I'm sure all of you know Tiksha is a fantastic quality of a human being. Capacity to stop with pain, inconvenience, Everything, all difficulty in life with grace, even pleasure with perfect calmness and patience. No frustration. You endure it. This is what has come to my lot. Let me endure it. And the capacity for titiksha, it seems it's limitless. It is linked to our depth of Brahma Vidya. If you are attuned to the self, your capacity to practice titiksha is limitless. You have to endure it. Sometimes a thought comes, if there is a Brahman and we have come out of Brahman, now we are experiencing an individuality, and ultimately we have to merge back into Brahman. Like a wave comes out of the ocean, exists in the ocean, will merge back into the ocean. Now we are in that journey where we don't know whether we have come out of Brahman. We don't know when we will go back to Brahman. But in between, what we have to do, practice Tiksha. Any suffering comes, endure it gracefully. See, same thing, I can be very frustrated. How can this happen to me? Why is this happening to me? Complain, complain, grumble, grumble, grumble. With a wrong mental attitude, I suffer. With the right mental attitude, okay, let me put up with it. If it's come, let me put up with it. And as we grow in wisdom, get more established in the knowledge of the self, our capacity to put in practice, capacity to practice titiksha will also increase. So understand these divine values and practice it. He prayeth well who loveth best. Who prays best, who loves best. Both man and bird and beast. He prayeth well who loveth well all things both great and small. Same Samuel Coleridge, the author of that Ancient Mariner. The very moment we fall from love, the very moment nature holds back its grace, as it were. Sunlight is always there. By developing hatred, we are putting a barrier. We put barriers. Sunlight is everywhere. We are putting barriers. So by our egoistic, selfish, negative feelings, we lose out on the grace of the divine, grace of nature. Cheerfulness. Rama rejoices to see smiles on your blooming faces. Somebody else is happy and you're happy. Oscar Wilde said, I am a lover of happy human faces. We are a lover of, we like it when I am smiling. I am happy when others are smiling. You're just happy. That person is happy. And sometimes um, uh, you can spot people, simplest of things, like children, this is a trick the mind plays. We give, just food for thought, I don't know. Sometimes that which is rare seems very, very precious. A beautiful sunset, where everything is orange and, seems so fascinating, so beautiful, because it's rare. You may not be able to see a fantastic sunset or a fantastic sunrise every day. Unless you live in a fantastic place. Bombay, we can probably see, you can see sunset from your place, Meher, new office. So then, so now imagine, Meher, one person is coming to Marine Drive once in a lifetime, and you are seeing it every now and then. How much joy and value he has, whereas it is just another side because you are seeing it every day. So anything that is rare becomes very, very. Suppose some incident, some solar eclipse will happen once in a millennium. Oh, everybody is so excited. But if you just understand, see, I'm so like most of you. Those who have not come to the academy, you should come. See, academy is the same. But as the sky changes every day, it's a beautiful. If I take a picture, it's a beautiful picture. The background is changing. It's so beautiful. Now, because of the classes and all, I remind myself, wow, what a beautiful place. What a beautiful place. No point getting neutralized to it because we know the value of this place. Today, I chose a couple of days back, I saw a beautiful sunset and we were just admiring it. And then I said, that which is all the time available is not less beautiful than that. What is all the time available is not less beautiful, but we don't have a value for it because it is available all the time. Brahman is there all the time, we don't miss it. Oxygen is there all the time, so we don't value it. Water is there all the time. Is no moment water is not there, you will realize how valuable it is. So, uh, what perhaps we can learn from this is unnecessarily the mind says, only if I go to Brazil, I'll be happy. Where you are is also equally beautiful. If you, I'm not saying you should not go. You know, that which is difficult for you, the mind feels only if I do that, I'll be happy. You can do it, but the Vedantin says, wherever I am, I'm absolutely happy. This is also, see, the guy who is in the mountains, he wants to go to the sea. There's the guy who is living in the seashore, he's fed up of the sea, he wants to go to the mountains. So the mind plays tricks. Our job is you enjoy the mountain, you enjoy the sea if it can be done, but be happy wherever you are. Understand the value of what you already have and be happy wherever you are. Learn to be happy with the simple things in life. Fresh air, seeing something beautiful. See, it has a lot of sense when Swamiji says you can peel a banana and go into a rapture. Now, how many people are peeling bananas every day? Billions and billions of people are going into banana. And that one man, he's got the inspiration from William Wordsworth. He saw the daffodils and he wrote the daffodils poem. I wandered lonely as a cloud that floats on high over Wales and Hill. It's one of the top five greatest poems written ever, I think. It will come. Daffodils is like an incredible poet, and it captures the spiritual path. Um, but if you see the flowers on this, why did I see this flower? Just an ordinary flower. But he was so inspired by it. Similarly, Swamiji says, you peel a banana and you realize who packaged it, who designed it, how beautiful it is. So you can go into raptures in something simple. So if you are in that frequency where drinking water itself is like, wow, without water, there's no life. Breathing oxygen itself is so pleasant. Why do people put that dirty smoke in the lungs? Lungs itself is such a great gift of God. If we value the gifts of God, we will not misuse it. We'll make the right use of it. So all this I'm saying is to encourage, be absolutely happy wherever you are and then strive for perfection or stress. So why not? If you can go on a cruise to Antarctica, why not? But not, it's not everybody's, it cannot happen to everybody. So that means everybody else has to suffer or be frustrated. No, let life bring about whatever life has to bring about. I'm happy others are getting a chance to go. That's what Ramatita is saying. Rama rejoices um, to see the smiles on your blooming faces. You are smiling flowers. See, sometimes it happens, no? When the Sri Lankan cricket team won the World Cup for the first time. I mean, if you are hating, I don't know, but if you're genuinely happy, my God, after so many years, a small nation has won the cricket World Cup. So yes, we are sad India lost, but at least we should be happy that something good is happening to others. No. I alone should be happy. Others should be sad. India alone should win all the time. Oh, let them. It's okay. We won a lot of matches. One under 19 match we lost. It's okay. Let them. I mean, let everyone be happy. That's what he's saying. Rama rejoices to see smiles on your blooming faces. Be cheerful till the end of time. Means till enlightenment, be cheerful. Be not anxious as to the reward of your labors. Mind not the future. Have no scruples. Hesitation. Hesitation, I put it because I didn't understand what scruples means. Think not of success or failure. See, don't stop your hard work. Tremendous effort we have to put in. Whatever we have to do, we have to do with our heart and soul. Whatever we are doing. If you have nothing to do, great. But if you have something to do it with extraordinary effort, with your heart and soul. But what we have to drop is don't need to be anxious what will come out of it. Don't worry what will happen in the future. Just take care of the present. Don't worry about the future. Work on for work's sake. Work is its own reward. Work well accomplished is a joy of life. Such simple, beautiful guidelines coming from a great saint like Swami Ramatitha. We should be happy and enthusiastic about it. Without dejection at the past, without anxiety as to the future, work in the living present. We can't end on a better note. Without dejection, I remember I was meeting a group of friends, 8, 9 friends had gathered in the Himalayas, all business people. They had just come. And since somebody saw me in the uniform, he said, "Sir, please have dinner with us." And I was just casual, it was casual, informal, I was talking. In that, one of them said, "Yes, I have heard Swami Parthasati." One guy said, "I have read Swami Parthasati's complete works." I was like, "You read the complete book?" Not like everybody is a 2,500 page book. It's from Gita, Upanishad. So I was like, wow, wow, you've read the complete works? Great. But then he said, "I read in 3 months." I said, "Yo, it's not a Harry Potter. You have to, 3 months is enough for a fall of the human, like governing business relationship." But why I remember that conversation is in that one guy said, "I have heard Swami Parthasarthi only once and I have picked up one value. That is enough for me. Don't worry about the past. Don't worry about the future. Live in the present." He said, see, now we say the depth of knowledge that matters, not the length of knowledge. So if you pick up a few values, see, Swamiji has designed in a way that we learn one angle from here, one angle from here, one angle from here. This quality we practice, that quality practice, this thought, that thought. Slowly builds a nice foundation where we can reach Brahman, contemplate upon Brahman, attune to Brahman. All is necessary. More than enough, he has given the material. But if we are able to, if we find inspiration in one or two values or many values, just hold on to that. This is such a practical and useful value. Without rejection of the past, because a lot of bad things we have done, we may regret. Somebody said mountains of bad karma may be there in the past. Now we have to do mountains of good karma to offset it. Only then the mind will be peaceful enough to contemplate upon Brahman. Without direction of the past, doesn't matter, we can't change it. Without anxiety as to what will come in the future, leave it to God. Work, work, work in the living present. Anybody has a question? We'll end with the prayer. पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः Thank you. Hari Om.
Yeah, Hari Om, sir. Thank you.
Hari
Thank
Om
you.
Swami.
Thank you.